Hey everybody, it's Sandy Lee again. I'm gonna do a very informal, impromptu video. I don't have to work today, so I'm still in my house coat. Anyway, so I left off after my, I think, fourth transfer that did not work. It was a chemical pregnancy, and that was the last of my 7 embryos with that egg retrieval. And after a long heart-to-heart, John and I decided that we needed to take a, I called it a fuck it all trip. Sorry for the language. Because it was devastating, again, that we had no more embryos, and we went back and forth. Do we do this all over again? Ultimately, I think John was ready to say, enough is enough. But me, with my, that aching in my heart to have children, I told him that I would like to do another egg retrieval. And he said, which he always says, he's so sweet, whatever you want. So I was like, okay, well, that's what I want. So we decided to try another doctor, another clinic, and we did mini IVF. So the point to mini IVF is lower stimulation drugs that hopefully produce higher quality embryos. So now I'm 3 years older, or 2.5 years older, and egg quality obviously starts going down and down and down and down as you age. So we opted for the mini IVF. It was almost as expensive as regular IVF at this new clinic. So we did mini IVF. We got 9 eggs, and after the fertilization report, we ended up with 4. They froze them at day 3. So 2 good, 2 fair, on a good, fair, poor scale. So this new doctor wanted us to wait 3 months to do a transfer so my body could get back, together. So in the meantime, I was like, it's perfect timing. We went to Florida for a few days. That was our fuck it all trip. And then I had the opportunity to go on this dental cruise. Shout out to Elijah Desmond. He puts on this Smiles at Sea cruise, and we got to go to Cozumel. So it was my very first cruise ever. I had such an amazing time. I kind of forgot my cares for a few days. And it was very refreshing. It was nice to come back home. John wasn't able to go with me, so it was nice to come back home to him. But ultimately, it was something that I needed mentally, physically, emotionally, something to just so I could get away for a while and not have to think about fertility, because it overtakes your life. I know everybody in these groups will agree with me that it overtakes your life. You think about it, you dream about it, you daydream about it, you worry about it, money's tight, like you have to figure it out. It consumes your life. Like it dictates when you can go somewhere, how soon you have to be back home because you have to take shots at a certain time, or you have to take them with you. This last transfer, which I'll fast forward and say it was a chemical again. We used 2 embryos, 1 good, 1 fair, and it failed. But we had to do my progesterone shots, which is an intramuscular in the butt. We had to do that in the front seat of my car. So we're sitting here looking like druggies. I'm pulling stuff out of a vial, and he's trying to shoot my butt. Like, I'm turned all the way around in my front seat of my car, and we're like looking around, like, hope nobody sees us. Like, somebody could have very easily watched that and called the cops and said they are doing drugs in the parking lot, which wouldn't be false, but they're legal drugs. Anyway, so yeah, I always test before the beta blood test, and so I knew it wasn't good. Like, I was getting very super faint positives that were not getting darker at all, and my blood test came back at 1.8. And last time, the other chemical was 0.8. So that's not even pregnant. And then, so that was actually, today's Friday, so it wasn't this past Monday, it was a week before that. So that's when I found out. I found out before Thanksgiving. So the Monday before Thanksgiving. So, Thanksgiving went fine. It helped keep my mind off things. My sister, she innocently, I had the pictures of the embryos on my fridge, baby's first picture, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, "What are these?" And I go, "Oh, they're my embryos." She goes, "You have that many?" And I was like, "There's only like 4. Or maybe it was a picture of the 2 I just transferred. And so when she asked that, she thought that each cell was an embryo. And I was like, "Oh, no, I wish I had that many to have for chances." But anyway, so I explained to her what that was. And, that it got to me a little bit, but what are you going to do? I mean, people have questions. It's natural. And she didn't know any better. So, it wasn't a big deal. But so that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Friday wasn't so bad. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I was in such a funk. I didn't shower those 3 days. Yeah, I know, it's gross. But I didn't want to do anything. Like, we stayed home all day. We skipped church. Monday I called in because there was just this huge dark cloud over me. Like, I didn't... It was just... I wasn't me. And I knew it. And then Tuesday morning I woke up and it seemed like the clouds had parted and I felt better. So, and now I feel fine. I mean, of course, it's sad. It's devastating. I keep saying devastating, but it is. But ultimately, I was back to my normal self. So, I go through the work week, which was this week. Yeah. And now it's Friday and I'm off and I feel motivated, like, to clean house. I don't know if I will, but right now I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll clean house. Maybe. Maybe I'll just get dishes done. Who cares? Luckily, John is the sweetest guy ever, and he doesn't complain too much. Like, if I don't clean house or, whatever. And he does all the cooking, and if something needs to be done around here, he does it. Like, I love that about him. He's not a procrastinator at all, and I totally am. But anyway, so that brings you to my journey, up to date. So the latest thing is me trying to figure out what my next step is. I just discovered the CNY Fertility Clinic in New York. They have several locations, and apparently their pricing is super low. So traveling there and paying for an egg retrieval with assisted hatching, ICSI, and all that other stuff is going to be like less than half to do another egg retrieval than it would cost here. So now I'm researching the clinic and asking people what their experience was, or is with them, and deciding if that's the next step, or do we just say, nope, we have 2 left, let's try our chances with that, and then we move on. So I'm kind of in limbo, gathering information. And if anybody out there has personal experience, I would love to hear it. So you can either comment under the video down below, or I'm sure there's a way to contact me. I'm on Facebook as Sandy Lee, so you can find me there. And let me know what your experience was with CNY. So I think the next video, I'm going to go into some of the other stuff that maybe a little bit more about my cancer journey, because I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much that affected my fertility. I lost half of my ovarian reserve because they took out 1 ovary, but I don't know. I don't know how that affected it, and because it's so rare, I don't know who to go to for those answers. But ultimately, if I have a baby, then the rest of that stuff doesn't really matter anyway. So, okay, well, thanks again for watching. You can subscribe. I'll try to put videos up here and there to keep you guys entertained, or, you know, if you have any questions about IVF, that sort of thing, let me know. I can try to help. I'm definitely not an expert, but I've been doing this long enough to know what some things are and what some things mean. So, all right, well, happy Friday. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Bye.